I talked to my father.
Okay. How'd that go?
It was fine, but like I
Did
mentioned
you
the
tell him?
Blerd
Oh,
bar.
you did tell him about the Blerd bar.
So we'll see. Your
move, Sterling's dad. In the world.
Oh, God. Oh man.
And there's the intro.
No.
It is. That's the one.
So, quick question, everyone. What do you get when you cross an otaku, a comic book mastermind, and a Pokemaster? Well, the answer's right here. And we welcome you to BNR, presented by the Blerd Bar. Now, they call me the Living Codex.
Yes.
Ace Trainer of West Willie.
Yes.
Stalwart Shield of South Philly. My name is Sterling, but I am Ace Trainer Argent. Now, I am just one of the Legion of... Not Legion of Doom. What is it?
I mean...
Legion of...
Niggas?
Legion... No!
Wow. Wow.
I'm kicking over to my my counterpart. It's just, can we start over?
Nope.
Wow.
It's good to be back. I love that we do this.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Almost weekly.
He didn't want to say. He didn't want to say. I love you guys. He said, "I love that we do this."
Please introduce yourself to the people.
As always.
This is the CEO, by the way.
I'm not going to fight that, but it's not true because there's three of us. Humble brag. No, I'm kidding. It's Big Dan.
Big Dan.
Rodan. Coming at you live from the 215, your comic book connoisseur, your sommelier of sci-fi and superheroes, here to welcome you to another episode of BNR. That's right, I'm your Wakandan Asgardian brother out here in this piece.
Wait, at the same time?
Always.
Are you StarLord?
Nope. But that's getting into the episode.
Speaking of the stars, let's kick it to the Hawk from the heavens. Let's go. We have a button.
Oh no.
This episode is already off the rails in a world.
Jeez. Hi guys, it's me.
Please sober us, drunken master.
Tis I, hailing from the land of sake, shinobi, and samurai. The boy is Godzilla personified, no other name but this to go by. It's your boy Jayhawk. There it is, yeah.
There it is.
And what do we got for booze? We got a
interesting booze here.
Hello, everyone. I'm your drunken master.
Really quick, can I just apologize? I've been off color for a little bit, and I want everybody to know that Sterling is cherished here and respected, and he's also our drunken master for the evening.
I got cider. Okay, so here we have. Let's not do this over the equipment. Here we have
I got you.
Here we have Threadbare Cider, which is
over to your right a little bit.
Right.
Your left. Sorry.
Stage
Here we
right.
go.
Thank you.
Hey, it's right there in the shot.
Yes, which was made in Pittsburgh, PA.
Hey.
So
Shout out to the Steelers.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about all that now, but we
We
got
don't do
local.
sports over here.
Yeah, we do.
We're Blerds.
Overwatch is a sport. So we have. This is what Johnny Appleseed shouted as he traveled the frontier, growing apple orchids from Pittsburgh seeds. To make dry hopped, we fermented regional apple cider using our house dry yeast and dry hopped with Mosaic, Amarillo, and Centennial hops during fermentation, resulting in a bold, juicy, pleasantly hoppy flavor without the bitterness of an IPA. Threadbare hoppy cider. Now I want to pour this for my guys.
You know it's real when you take off your glasses.
I just need to read.
I need to see to survive.
It's sad.
I can see. I can fight.
Amarillo.
There was one time. So for people who don't know, when I'm not working at the Blerd Bar, I work in logistics, and we had a pickup in Amarillo, Texas. And
Are you allowed to say this illegally?
yeah, because I didn't talk about the company I work for.
I just want to make sure.
So we had a pickup in Amarillo, Texas. Now, a large majority of the people I work with are, melanin deficient, and they would just pick up and be like, "Oh yeah, you're looking at that pickup of Amarillo," and I'm just like, Jesus, guys.
Story time with Sterling.
Hops.
All right. Oh,
They surprisingly.
That's what were you about to say?
I was gonna say that they surprisingly they do take out the bitterness, but there is still a sourness to it.
Yes.
these are almost like Granny Smith.
Or
apples.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know it's apple.
It's very apple.
This is not your
I-
average Mott's.
I think I love this. This ain't no Martinelli.
This ain't no Martinelli's.
Shout out to Martinelli's.
I like it though.
Yeah, I don't like overly sweet stuff, and this is not.
You know what
overly
this is? This is almost seasonal though. I would say
sweet.
you wouldn't have this during the summer.
During the fall, though,
This is paired very well with your pumpkin cookies.
You don't think so in the summer? If this was like chilled?
if it was really cold, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, but even then, I would probably go with something different.
13%.
Because it'd be like super crisp. Talking
It's
about
very
a
crisp.
granny
It's
a granny
almost like-
a Granny Smith apple.
Like Angry Orchard, but not.
A little angrier. 13%.
It's definitely
No, this
angrier.
is more aggressive than Angry.
Yeah.
Like this is like choosing violence. This is choosing violence orchard. This is on-site orchard.
On-site orchard.
What do you want from Pittsburgh, PA, baby?
This is these hands orchards. Like this is more aggressive.
Do you want to do a collective?
Black Air Force orchard.
Do you want to do a collective? A collective rating?
Collective rating.
I'm thinking 3. What do you say, Josh?
I don't like the tartness. I'm not a tart fellow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Hold on. Please continue.
I
Get it? Because he's a sourpuss. That's why.
I need a new job.
What? So
If anyone's looking for a host, I'm readily available.
You should see his resume.
It's small.
I would give this 2.8.
That's fair. Like I said, in the context of season, if it was fall and I was taking this, I would be like, "Oh, this is a 4. This speaks to me. This is leaves falling. This is
Sweaters.
hoodies,
Sweater vest.
sweater vests."
All right, Alfonso.
It's funny because
Because it's true.
well, no, I was gonna say because of my fiance, but
You were saying.
we're not gonna stop because we've already started. There's no reason to stop. We can't go back now.
Oh, we totally can.
No, if we go back, that creates a totally different multiverse, and we're not doing that.
There. That moment. A new multiverse was created.
Yeah. So, what was I going to say? I'm gonna give it a 4. It's a solid 4.
Please, can we start over? I'm just keep asking till we do it.
This is it. Buckle up, folks.
All right, we're
we
definitely
just,
gonna try to
we just started drinking.
We're gonna move this along. It's gonna This is booze. News is gonna be quick.
Yeah.
We welcome you to the Shots. That is where one of the members of the Blerd Bar will ask another member of the Blerd Bar about their corner of the universe. Now, I hold the power, and I'm talking to the man, master of the cosmos himself, Dan Rodan. Are you ready for your first question?
All my pants have elastic in them, but yeah, let's go.
I appreciate that personal tidbit. Question number 1. What is the name of Philadelphia's Overwatch League team?
Oh wow. Wow.
I don't even play Overwatch anymore.
Wow.
I played Overwatch for all of 20 minutes when
In
it came out.
2016, right?
When it first came out.
Lucio, love that guy.
No. All right.
All right. Well, if you know the answer, please put it in the comments. And
I
now
thought these questions were supposed to be easy.
that is very easy.
Okay.
And now back to our regularly scheduled program. Cowboy Bebop. Ah, okay.
I think it's with Cowboy Bebop. Oh, did you rate it? Did you rate
Yeah,
the
I
Boost?
gave it a 3, but
You
now,
did give it a
now
3.
I'm giving it a 3.5. I like this.
Oh, okay.
I'm enjoying it more and more.
Yeah, the more you let it.
I think with the live action Cowboy Bebop and the pics that we've seen, it is still too early to love it or hate it.
Speak for yourself.
I think it looks like they're giving it, a good old Netflix budget so they can do stuff with it. Now, how that lands,
we saw Jupiter Ascending. That was also on a Netflix budget. So
it was. That's what I'm saying.
So I personally think this doesn't need to exist, and I'm going to keep telling everybody.
I agree, but a lot of people.
The work has already been done. It's been filmed. There's been promo for it. You're trying to fight against the machine.
Oh no, I'm not fighting. Yeah. I'm literally yelling into the void. No one cares what I have to say.
But I don't think it's needed, and even we'll have to wait to see the end product to be like, oh, that was cool. I personally don't feel like at the end of it I'll be like, okay, cool. But I could be wrong. I'm leaving space for me to be wrong.
I just have to always take time and remember, like, if I complain about watching live action Cowboy Bebop, I can still just go watch Cowboy Bebop. It still exists. It hasn't gone like this thing does not take away from the masterpiece that is Cowboy Bebop.
Very true.
Free Guy is coming to digital and Blu-ray eventually.
Because we still buy those.
Because somebody does. If you do get it on Blu-ray, you get deleted and extended scenes, which I feel like with Ryan Reynolds is always a treat.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that like Taika Waititi's in it, like you're gonna have fun times. It will be on digital platforms September 28th.
Mark your calendars.
That's probably when we'll review it, just because movie theaters. Who does those?
Yep.
And I say that knowing full well we'll be in theaters to go see Shang-Chi.
Don't be telling people that.
We will, though.
Dog, Marjorie watched this stuff.
Might get that one in post. So,
can we start over now?
Nope.
Y'all out here playing checkers. I'm playing badminton.
This is probably the most disconnected episode we've done so far for BNR, but it does not matter. X-Men Trial of Magneto. Is, issue 1 is currently out now. It has been said, if you've read it or if you're planning to read it, that this does encapsulate Magneto's mourning of Wanda in a very well done fashion. Because if anyone's been keeping up with the X-Men, they've been pretty much labeling Wanda and Pietro as imposters, because Marvel took it upon themselves to rewrite the history of Wanda and Quicksilver, because they still had those permissions, those film rights at the time. So they were like, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to stick our nose and put it in your pie.
Got him.
And I don't know what saying I just came up with there, but so they've kind of been clashing in the comic book world because of that. Because now Wanda's set up as this, Nexus being, no longer an Omega level mutant, but just pretty much unstoppable. Which is crazy because whenever they show Wanda currently, now she's been kind of like trying to pay for the sins of what happened with House of M, and she just for whatever reason can't fix it. She tried to bring them back when in some event. I'm trying to remember what that was.
Inhumanity.
Yeah, and so she like goes to where the Genosha or whatever, where they died, and brings everyone back, but they're all zombies.
Yikes.
And then they all die again. So
redid.
Wanda can't catch a break, whether it be MCU or in the comic book world. So yeah, keep an eye out for that if you are going to read it. Because as the comic book connoisseur, I feel like I need to talk about comics more, and I sometimes let you guys down.
What? No, dude, this is great. We all love you and support you.
Like I just said, I'm trying to talk about it more.
We believe in you.
Josh, please. Do you have
Is that all your news? Okay.
Kicking it over to the man.
I mean, we've been on the main camera this entire time. But
How long you
Josh
talking,
gets a special
Playboy?
camera.
News. Ghost in the Shell 4K remaster. 4K remaster edition of Mamoru Oshii's Ghost in the Shell, the anime film based on Masamune Shiro's science fiction comic of the same name, will be released simultaneously in Japan and the US on September 17th in IMAX format. In Japan, it will be screened in 35 IMAX theaters, then will also be released in regular theaters on October 1st. For this special screening of the film, the 4K remastered images were adjusted to a high degree of accuracy in every detail, including sound, brightness, and contrast, using IMAX's image processing technology. The 4K resolution brings out the vast amount of information lying dormant in the original 35mm film, which could not be reproduced with the technology used at the time of its release. So that's pretty cool. If there are any Ghost in the Shell fans, I feel like Ghost in the Shell was like that. That was another one that like came on late at night, and I would just wake up and it's like, I feel like this is interesting. I just don't know what is going on at all.
I haven't even started it because of just like life.
And then like there's so many different ones.
Yeah,
It's
Second Jake standalone complex. Yeah.
it's almost like Law and Order. Like
Well, I don't know.
No, not like Law and Order.
no, it kind of
I
like
can watch Law and Order.
it's a cop show.
Yes.
It's just anime, and there are like 3 different like versions of it. It's kind of like Law and Order. In other news,
Put some respect on Law and Order's name, man.
what? I like Law and Order. I like Ghost in the Shell.
I haven't watched it yet, so
Well,
I can make
I
that
did.
comparison, I guess, in the future. Or not. Who knows?
So, Studio Trigger celebrates 10 years.
Wow.
Some projects that have come out of the studio are Inferno Cop, Little Witch Academia, Kill La Kill, Darling in the Franxx, and Kisniver. They are also alleged to have 2 episodes in the Star Wars franchise, Star Wars Visions. So that should be really cool. Going to be very interesting to see what they come up with, if they keep to their trademarks.
Yo,
I'll say.
I gotta say about Studio Trigger. Studio Trigger is like, we're making a thing. And it's like, are we going to change the art style? Absolutely not.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Here's the models of the characters we've had previously. We're just going to do a whole, like, cover them up.
There we
We're
go.
gonna stick to one song and one song only.
Let's talk about it. Like to hear it? Here you go.
But that's all the news that I have.
Oh, man.
Sick.
We are flying through it.
Yes. My news is I have great news for all Elder Scrolls fans. For the 10th anniversary of Skyrim.
And the 10th time in life.
Skyrim's being remastered. I can't even say it with a straight face, dude. 10th anniversary edition is coming out November 11th, 2021. So for everyone who needs every copy of Skyrim, which at this point, you just gotta, right? Like you just kind of
The only reason I will get it, because I already know I'm going to get it, regardless of how against this I feel, is because I have, current gen or next gen console, I guess would be what you call it.
That'll be fun and interesting. How many cheese wheels can we now generate and just roll down a hill?
Now it's not even about the playing the game straight through anymore. It's about mods, and I think that's kind of what the community has now created, because this game has been out for forever.
Yeah,
right? Like you don't have to play it the way that the game intends on you playing it at all. Like you can go and be a farmer for like the rest of your
Hearthfire.
Yeah. Like you can go and like be a guard if you want to, like pretend to go be a guard and stop people. Like, I mean, if that's your kind of thing, and
they just keep pulling
Cyclops
stuff.
is your favorite superhero.
You just keep pulling stuff out of a hat. Can you have a mud crab as a pet? Oh, okay. Ride a dragon. Go to Morrowind. All right. But yeah, that's. Am I forgetting anything? No, that's my news. So we have some great reviews for y'all. Thanks for tuning in. The Blerd Bar,
colorful reviews.
The Blerd Bar would not be without you guys. We love you. Big Dan, you want to talk about our reviews, my friend? and welcome back to Shot Seat. Question number 2 for Dan Rodan. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
The infamous Konami code was created to beat what game?
Ooh.
Up, down, left, right. Select start, AB select.
AB start.
AB select start. Was created to beat what game? It is the Konami code, so it is a Konami game.
Crap.
And is not Death Stranding.
It's not.
I kind of want to guess.
It's not Mike Tyson Punch Out.
You are correct. It is not.
No, I know it's not. Yeah.
Take your time.
Isn't it like a racing game?
Is it?
I feel like it is, and I can't remember the name.
Is it?
Is a racing game your final answer?
No, it's not. The shot is.
If you know the answer, please put it in the comments. We want you to show what you know as well. If you have questions for the Shot Seat, shoot them on over to us. But for right now, back to our regularly scheduled program.
This hurts. Yeah, I normally, I like to go last just because it's easier to kind of bounce off of your opinions there. But this is my fault. I apologize opening up.
There's nothing to apologize
No,
for.
I want to open up with this first. I apologize to the Barflies. I suggested to the Blerd Bar Bros here to watch Paper Tiger, The Paper Tigers on Netflix. Because we were talking about what to review and, kind of hit like a little dead spot within this month. And so I was like, it's new. Came out, previous weekend, so I suggested it and we watched it. And I'm gonna give you my score right now. 2.5. Hold on. I got you. Hold on. There you go. 2.5. And then I'm gonna talk about it for a little bit.
So you're just gonna take the whole camera? All right.
Yeah, but this gave the vibes of the old kung fu movies that, if you've ever been to a mall and if you're next gen people, then you're like, mall, what's that?
Do you mean Amazon?
Right. There used to be these kiosks of martial arts movies, and I remember watching literally standing at the kiosk and watching at least 20 minutes of a film and just appreciating the choreography, which I did for this movie. This was great choreography for most of the martial arts scenes. They tried to go the comedy route, and I don't know if that was a smart decision. I would have rather it be a dramatic movie with funny bits. But they were like, no, this is a comedy. And so the dialogue started to feel forced. The rhythm of the comedic lines were noted, they were pretty much, you could read read the
cues, the beats.
The beats and the cues of the lines, almost as though you could read the beats of their martial arts fighting, the choreography. I will say there was one bright spot, and it's such a weird bright spot in the movie. Carter.
Yeah.
The one main white guy in the movie. For whatever reason, he just made me chuckle. And he was he annoyed me, but at the same time, he's made me chuckle at the movie. Because I didn't find myself gut-busting laughing for the intended reasons. But I was also laughing because I was this is kind of ridiculous. One moment had me shocked when they were had another person, non-black person, use the word N-word. And I was just pretty forcefully, but it was another person of color, which doesn't make it entirely better, but it's not the worst. No. He said it in an ops way, right? Like
Yeah.
he said it like he was ops, right?
Yeah.
So you don't get to say it.
True.
It wasn't like my nigga.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it wasn't like y'all niggas crazy. It was like, yeah, nigga. And I was like, had he put the R on it, then you die. Like that's how they would have written the story.
When I heard it, I also went like it wasn't even me. It was the
Yeah.
ancestors moving through me. It's nothing I can do.
Yeah, no, it was just kind of like I was
It's
like
nothing I can do.
the connotation of the way he used it just was like, I guess I gotta fight somebody. And I was like,
I ain't want to fight nobody today, man.
And so
I ain't even did my Pilates.
and then like the ball gets beat, and then he's like, "Yeah, sorry, I called you Nick," and I'm like, "Okay, this
No.
is what we do here."
No, but my favorite thing, so the dude apologizes, like, sorry, I called you the N-word. And then the black character just says nothing.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's not even like, oh, man, it's okay. It's like, no, just nothing.
Mm.
No, like if you ever catch us out in the street and you say that, and then I have to beat your ass for it, like I'm not.
It is now not okay because I had to hand you.
Right.
Well, the ancestors had to have me beat your ass.
No,
So-
and, you know, and forgive me, this is probably the first time I ever used profanity. Like, I'll beat the cuss at you because you out here just talking reckless.
Josh, you have anything to add, buddy?
Huh?
You sit kind of quiet over there, buddy.
No, Josh is waiting his turn. Josh is
Yeah.
like, this is Josh's version of like Vegeta Super Saiyan. Like he's just like, I sit in the corner wait my turn.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, there was just like some elements. I appreciated the father son thing for a second, and then I was like, they threw it out the window, so I guess I'll throw it out the window. And yeah, so that's why I got a 2.5 from Big Dan. I'm done.
I think this movie was like fine. There was points in time where I like wasn't watching it, and I was like, I don't think I've missed anything. You know, the main humor of this movie is like, oh, you guys used to be martial artists, and now you're old, and so like that was the thing. The things I enjoyed about this film was it was a story of too little, too late. Spoilers, of course, but you have these three guys trained together. Their master dies, and that's what comes to bring them all together again. And I think that's a reoccurring theme, not only in stories like this, but just in life in general, you know, especially in the black community. We always say, oh man, we only get together for weddings and funerals, right? So that analysis, they touched on it, but they didn't really go deep into it because each of the friends were like, well, none of y'all reached out to me about anything. Why did it take Seafood dying for us to come together? But anyway, so that tale of too little, too late, and the interactions that we have, the interactions you want with people now while they're here before it's too late. If you love people, tell them twice, you know? So that was good. Now, this is the part, if I'm bugging, I need y'all to tell me I'm bugging. I feel like these martial arts sequences were comparable to Mortal Kombat. The martial arts sequences were really solid, very crisp.
I thought they were
I
really
would say
good.
they excelled.
Really?
Just a hair. Just slightly a hair.
I think, and it's almost not fair to say because we're like, Mortal Kombat, oh man, I'm really going in for these sequences, whereas like Paper Tigers, it's a comedy, like we're going in for comedy, and then
But you also knew that it was
a
a comedy, but it was also a martial arts
Yes.
film. And Mortal Kombat, I mean, like the movie is based off of a fighting game, so you expect the fight scenes to be good.
and then you get a comedy.
Right.
So tell Warner Brothers we said it. Ultimately, there are lots of things. Like I went back and forth about this movie. I'm not going to say it was a good movie. I don't think it was a good movie. I think it had enjoyable points. So I think I'm gonna have to give it a 2. 2 out of 5. I'm never going to watch this again. If it was on, I would watch something else. I'd go do the dishes instead of watching this
Watch
movie.
something else. I'm playing Candy Crush. Like if you really,
Oh no!
if you got this movie on in your home and I'm present, I was like, all right, Candy Crush it is.
What do you got to say, Josh? What do you got?
So this movie, it was very interesting. It was a martial arts film. I was actually against seeing this film from the outset.
Let the record show.
I was just like, I don't think this is gonna be a great movie, and I was not disappointed. It's kind of like when I saw Grown Ups, and I didn't think that was gonna be a great movie, and I don't know. Anywho, this movie seemed to. It was a martial arts film, and that was cool. And the martial arts scenes were cool. I think to bring it all to a head, it wasn't for us, even though there was a black person in it.
Very true.
It was like,
that's true.
It's like, thanks for inviting us to the party, but this was not our party, and it was not trying to make it our party. I remember speaking about it with Laura, and I was like, on one hand, I'm actually kind of happy that they didn't give him the healing thing, the healing hands. And then on the other hand,
to avoid the magic Negro trope.
Exactly. That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. And so there was that. And then I also didn't appreciate that. I guess it was supposed to be funny. Like, I did
the biggest piece of chicken.
Yeah, he got like the best piece of chicken. I was like,
man.
Okay,
Cringe.
But it came together. It came together to make sense at the end, where it was like, oh, Sifu is giving you the best food, and it just so happens to be chicken, but it's still questionable writing.
It was questionable writing. Yes. Like, it was like,
call spade a spade. There's racist on so many levels.
They did it because of the, I think you said it was like called irreverent humor, right? Like, It had that, so sure. Actually, okay, it's not the only irreverent humor, but it was definitely irreverent that I picked up on because
of
biased.
When you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and you're like,
yeah,
still black.
I think to your point, Dan, the best part of it, or the best character at least, was the white guy, Ed. I keep wanting to call him Ed Helms.
Call him Ed Helms.
But his name's Carter.
This character is, imagine a Final Form weeb. They've done it. They've like gone to Hong Kong and lived there for 7 years and like came back, and it's like, okay, we've done it. The final form of a weeb.
Yeah, like he was hilarious. His comedy was like on point. The second best comedian in that movie would be the guy who ended up being bald.
Yeah, Hing. Yeah. He was.
Most of his lines were so forced.
Yes, cringy.
He was also the heart.
I was just about to say
of the group, though. Yeah. So like, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
They went for like the fat guys. How come you guys didn't like ever call or whatever? And I'm like, I'm not going to be that. I understand I'm the fat guy of the group. What y'all won't do is disappear out of my life for 20 years and be like, how come you guys never call? I'm going to be like, cuss those guys. Anyway, but no, he didn't.
Do you want to talk about it, buddy?
No, I'm okay. I have 24 hours to get over it.
You are safe here.
I have 24 hours to get over it.
So yeah, I thought that was funny. That's it was just a meh movie.
Yeah.
But I will say for us, like, I don't know what you were to see
the
it.
The bar shouldn't have been set.
Right. Yeah. Like, I don't know what, I was not expecting to be amazed and wowed. I thought that like I said, that the fighting choreography was actually pretty good. But it was like a not low budget, but kind of low budget Netflix movie. All that being said, it was very average for me. So
with a low bar as a modifier, right? So we're going to roll for advantage. So whatever the high score is, whatever the high roll is,
right?
That's the one we're going with.
I would say I would give it a 3.
Okay.
Wow.
Because it was average.
But it was supposed to be. I mean, it was a C movie. Like, it was a C+ movie, right? Like,
at best,
C-list movie.
Yeah.
And at worst, a D-list movie.
Right.
So, yeah.
Like, It was like a 3.
I gotta timestamp this and add this date to my calendar. Everybody, stop what you're doing. Josh gave something a higher score than me. You are now Paul Abdul.
I don't think so. I think you have to see how, like, what were you measuring it against? What were you trying to, like?
Has given some, he's let some people pass over Paul Abdul.
It's just like, what were you coming in expecting? I kind of got what I expected, so I wasn't wowed, but I wasn't disgusted with it.
Am I Simon?
Bro, we've
we
been over
already
this.
knew that.
We've been over this.
I'm Simon.
Do you want to be Katy Perry instead? And we welcome you back to the final shot seat. Shot. Okay. Kicking it over to Dan the man. Now, this is level 3 challenging, but
do not invite me to any trivia ever.
Yeah,
come to Quizzo?
I'm not good at trivia too, but it is multiple choice.
Normally. But go ahead.
Which of these games is considered real-time strategy? A, Hollow Knight. B, Fire Emblem Awakening. C, Halo Wars. D, all of the above. Or E, none of the above.
It's going to be D, all of the above.
I'm going to ask you the question again. Which one?
Then it'd be Halo Wars.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Oh boy, got it out here.
You gave him the easiest one last.
Yeah, you really did. Because that's surprising. Because when you explained it to me, I was like, Fire Emblem wouldn't be. Technically, that's turn-based, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then Hollow Knight is a side scroller.
That is.
So that's not really strategy either.
Nah, you gave me a mercy one on that because you could have just taken my final answer and then just be like, he trash.
He's trash.
But Halo Wars is the only one that I remember being an actual RTS.
Did you play Halo Wars?
Briefly. Not enough. Not enough for it to be
It was a cool
important.
game.
I mean, I normally play like Age of Empires, stuff like that.
Yeah. But thank you very much. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. So for our second review in the meat and potatoes of our episode, what if T'Challa was StarLord?
Yeah, I'm going last, obviously.
Dan's charging his special super.
I'll go first.
All right, kicking it over to the man, the Hawk in the heavens. Speak words.
I actually had no intentions of watching the What If episodes. I had no intentions of watching the What If episodes, and then and then Dan, I almost called him the CEO, and then Dan was like, hey, we should watch this. And so I was like, okay, I guess.
That's how our meetings go. If you're ever curious.
First of all, it is never that way. I will suggest something and tell people this is open for debate and like go against the grain. I'm never going to tell you guys that you guys have to do that. Don't name me the CEO. That's not what I want.
You're saying,
We're
sir,
having a lot of therapy on camera.
Blerd bar sessions. We got realms, we got sessions, we got BNR. Take your pick. We got something for you. Go ahead.
So I just it was cool, but because it holds no weight, I was just like, meh. Like
that's definitely something to talk about. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting. I mean, this is also painting him in the brightest light, like he left when he was 5. Like in this episode, he leaves when he's like 5 or 6 or whatever. And then he spends like 15 to 20 years out with a group of vagabonds, like
ragtag dreamers.
Yeah. And it's just like, I I don't know if we're painting that with like rose tinted glasses kind of a thing of just like, oh yeah, he would have made the universe better. And I think I hope they didn't do that because of
Chadwick's passing?
yeah.
Nah. They already wrote it like that. Because
That's true.
He voice acted.
Yeah, that's true. That's
so
true. That's
this
true.
was written years ago.
That's true.
Yeah.
It just doesn't like. We'll never know because it is literally what if. But I was just like, huh, okay. So he just keeps his morals and stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
It's interesting.
I gotta wait.
It's
but then
it's I found it very interesting. I thought if anything it was a safe choice. It would have been a lot more fun to see T'Challa, like to see him dip into like a darker side. He doesn't have to go full Killmonger, right? Like that. I think that's like a bit.
much.
We've seen that.
Plus, Killmonger is going to be in like episode 6. So,
But I think to see him become more of a rogue anti-hero, like I do what I want kind of a thing, but he still has his own code. I think would have been a bit more interesting of a story than like he had, he sent Thanos to talk help and
better
help and was like, you're fine now.
I gotta wait.
So all that being said, once again, wasn't wowed by it, didn't hate it, but I give it a 3.
Okay.
I think I want to piggyback off your point because I think it's a really great point when we talk about what if storylines and different dimension storylines and other, when we take characters that are established and then we're like, but what if it was this happened, right? So when we have the main continuity, I think it's very interesting that we give that so much weight. But I guess it's because it's what's going to be worked on, right? Like this is what's going to extend and work off of. So when we have these branching off, when we can do anything and anything can happen, it's like, what do we really do with this? That being said, I think it's very interesting because the factors now, if anyone who knows me, I'm very interested. Like humans are fascinating, like how we become the people we are and layers of identity.
We are the choices we make.
That's one part of it. But I think it's interesting. So like when the factors changed about T'Challa's upbringing, he still retained things that like made him to the universe that we know.
Right.
So it's very interesting how that's still, I mean, it's not impossible. This is the multiverse of madness. So it's not impossible. Shout out to Jericho Drum. That's my boy. So it's not impossible, but I just think it was very interesting to take that direction. For the episode itself, we see many versions of different characters. I think it was super cool that most of the actual actors came to be the voices on What If. I think that's just super cool. The episode itself, I mean, I like MCU T'Challa. Before Black Panther, I was always just like, he's a guy. Like T'Challa's a dude, I am also against xenophobia, so yeah. But after the MCU movie and the character that was established, then it's like, okay, I love this guy, This episode, what do I give it? I guess like a 4. Like it was
wow.
It was cool to watch. I really liked Juice Tavon. That was interesting. I wanted to see like how he got there, and yeah, it was a cool episode. I like what they did. To just be like, T'Challa also has the power of talk no jutsu. You ready, Big Dan? You ready, or you still need more time? Because I can stall.
So I want to speak to the point being made about that, like T'Challa wasn't different, right? He was still like a good guy.
Yeah.
I will speak to the fact that there was still a dichotomy to and that's a $5 word, I guess. If I've ever used one. A dichotomy to who his character was when we saw him in the beginning of the MCU, right? Wakanda's borders are very closed off.
Yeah.
His only like knowledge of the world is through the perception of corporate greed and like capitalism pretty much draining the land of its resources. And while he still is combative against that during his run as StarLord, it's more of an adventurer versus a diplomat, right?
True. Yeah.
He's no longer a king having to protect the resources and the wealth of his nation. More so, it's like take from the wealth of other people's nations and planets and stuff like that and give back. So I do think that there was a switch in that. Not necessarily anti-hero, because Robin Hood's technically,
Lupin. It's a callback.
Callback and a half. Like, yeah, he's not an anti-hero, but at the same time, like he's a renegade, he's a revolutionary, right? Like he's
Hey Dan, are you saying you can kill a revolutionary, but you cannot kill the revolution?
You have to stop making callbacks. I understand that we did these things and we've said these things before. Stop making callbacks. If they follow us, they'll recognize it.
I'm not gonna say nothing no more. Go ahead. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna timestamp it. Sterling no longer says nothing.
Right. Okay. I'm not even gonna believe that. So, nope. Whatever you was about to say. So, let's jump into it real quick, right? Marvel's What If. It's like everyone has already said, when you do a multiverse story, doesn't matter. Because when you say multiverse, you are pretty much saying it's not canon. Or it's canon somewhere else in a place that doesn't matter, right? Like in a multiverse, I'm a 40-year-old white guy. Doesn't matter. With good credit. And I own. Get out of my shot.
Oh man.
That being said, this What If StarLord's episode, right, was very much an inverse on, like, when we see StarLord in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was like, I'm StarLord. And he was like, who? No, this time it was, I know who you are, the legendary StarLord. First of all, I want to get his name right. How do I say his name correctly, Sterling?
No, I can't talk, man.
No, say his name, Sterling.
Jaimon Hansu.
Huh? Jaimon Hansu. Because I feel like I always mess it up, and I feel like when I see the D, I have to say the D. And that's probably a joke in there somewhere. Do not use it. But the casting was phenomenal. I think the animation takes away from it a little bit.
What? Really?
Hear me out.
I'm listening to you.
I would have to agree.
Here's why. Because there's some very dark moments that happened in this.
Yeah.
That because they're like, no, it's a family show. It's on Disney Plus. And you're like, but I mean, I just saw somebody get shot.
I'm like, no, I seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I know what that arrow do.
Right. Or like the blade cut across the back of Thanos' knee and he's still like, his boots are intact. I'm like, I'm not asking for a lot of blood. I'm just asking for some semblance that he has been injured. Stuff like that. But I really...
That's not what I meant, but no, I see what you're saying.
But I'm just saying, like, to that point, the animation felt CGI heavy, and then other times it didn't, and I was just like, well. For me, Disney's animation, I don't know what direction they're going in, but y'all need to talk to some people at Warner Brothers. And yeah, I mean, like, I understand y'all don't talk. Things fell out. It's not peaceful with y'all. If y'all need us to be in the room while y'all have this conversation, we will do that for you.
We will definitely do that.
Small note, Howard the Duck.
Yo,
if that's the Howard the Duck we would get going forward in the future, I want it. Seth Green as Howard the Duck, amazing. And it's a small reference, and I think the What Ifs series will do a great job with doing Easter eggs like that. Like the Collector being more menacing. I was like, I don't know where he got the steroids for it, but he's a collector, so why not be Jack? Soft Thanos, I wasn't unlockable character Thanos. He y'all have seen the memes of like Thanos twerking and stuff like that. That's kind of how I felt seeing this Thanos. I do appreciate the casting, like I've said before. At the same time, Nebula with blonde hair, put it away. Don't do that again.
She likes to wear wigs. Let her wear wigs.
The casting choice, or the art decision, art direction, y'all failed. Anyway, I do think would I have ever chosen to see T'Challa as StarLord? I don't think so. But I also felt like, while I loved Guardians of the Galaxy, had James Gunn stuck with the origin, or the MCU stuck with the origin of the actual StarLord, we would have gotten a better version of StarLord.
Go into that a little bit for those who don't know.
So, StarLord would not have been a half celestial being, or right? Is that what they call him?
Yeah, that's what they did.
Which is weird because Ego is not a celestial, but y'all made these choices out here. His dad was like the original StarLord from Xandar, I believe, and he's still alien, half alien, but at the same time, like, and he also has powers and all of that. But I think him kind of fighting against that kingship and all that would have made more sense if they did that origin story and then did T'Challa's origin story, because it would have made sense with like the conflicting royalties type.
Sure. Yeah.
Versus a half god and a king.
I mean, he
king
didn't
in training.
He didn't even have the heart fruit. Yeah, which is interesting.
Which like you said, it was very interesting that way, and overall, if I have to rate this episode, I'd say it's a 4 only for the emotions. Like it made me smile to see Thanos trying to explain away genocide.
Yeah,
it did. Because you would never see that obviously in the real world.
That was definitely the best part of the episode for me. Like every time you saw him like at like a cocktail party, he's like, that sounds like genocide. No. It's efficient. It's fine.
It's
like
random.
Yeah. Like,
and at the same time, like they're also trying to solve Thanos's problem with like the what was it called? The seeds or whatever.
Seeds of
Genesis.
Yeah. Which I thought was interesting, which was a very interesting like catalyst for a story, because like you're not really thinking about Thanos in that capacity, but there's right. But they're also solving his problem that he was facing as the MCU villain. He was like, everywhere I go, everybody eating up everything. Like, y'all ain't got no oil, blood diamonds, global warming,
other problems,
and I started feeling like America for a second. So,
no, what?
Right?
Oh.
Go wear your mask. Anyway, I said what I said. I was supposed to give this a number, wasn't I?
Yeah. No, you gave it a 4.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.
You said 4 for good feelings.
But no, I think this was fun, right? I don't think the first What If episode was good at all. Like I would have just like
really.
And I know whenever you like attack something, like the first thing people will see is like the obvious reason, like because it was a woman. No, I like Peggy when she does other things. I just didn't like the way that they did Peggy in this What If.
Also, I'm pretty sure that was not Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull.
It was not.
No, that was whatchamacallit, the person that plays the Red Skull in Infinity War.
Yes, and it also Chris Evans obviously wasn't in it, but there was no. It just was a weird story. It just was. To me, it just didn't make sense. Like you put Steve Rogers into an Iron Man suit
with no AI.
with no AI,
No
but,
AI.
but powered by the Tesseract until it's not powered by the Tesseract. You know. Anyway,
Hand wave.
we'll continue to watch the Marvel's What Ifs, but I don't know if we will review every single one of those because I don't think
You
it's
might continue to
necessary.
watch it.
I will too.
I mean, I will because that's a big damn. You know, that's my.
That makes
wheelhouse.
sense.
So, yeah, we've reached the end of our episode, and let us know how you feel.
Oh, I forgot to say it. Please like, comment, subscribe,
You just cut me off.
hit the little bell to make sure you don't miss a post, and also buy a sweatshirt.
Yes, we're still on Threadless. We still have, designs that you guys can certainly rep the Blerd bar with, because the 12 of you that are watching these episodes might want some Barfly swag, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Also, shout out to Keith.
Yeah. So
Very true.
always appreciate you guys supporting us. We're not stopping. We're not going anywhere. Like
Nope.
the Blerd bar is here to stay.
Yep.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah,
This ain't no what if storyline. This is the alpha timeline, baby. Conda forever.
that too. And that was another thing. Just like Chadwick Boseman, man. Like, you hear it and you kind of feel it a little bit, and you're like, oh, we don't ever get this again.
It's true.
It's a once in a lifetime, experience, and so I don't want to dwell on. I literally was intentional about like not talking about it because it's like, why did I need to get emotional? But yeah, no, that it's always that last piece of art that someone puts out that you're always kind of like you resonate with it because you're like, we don't get this again.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger's Joker, Chadwick Boseman is StarLord / T'Challa still, like, like these moments in history that you get to hold on to, and like it encapsulates who you are as a person, and hopefully one day we'll go down in the history books the same way, and not talking about our parents and childhood trauma.
Good night, everybody.
Y'all have a
Good
y'all
night.
have a blessed night.